I was quite confident. I thought I won that fight again. I think I've got Larry Holmes here.
He thinks Tyson Fury probably will walk away, but I can see the enticement. I can see the rubber match between him and AJ.
When you lose to Usyk, it shouldn't really mean that you need to hang him up.
No.
He's
It's like
pound
the
for
UFC
pound
model, isn't it? Like when big fighters lose all the time.
Once you start regressing,
The potential retirement of one of boxing's biggest stars has sent shockwaves through the sport. Many within the boxing community view this moment as bittersweet, recognizing the legacy left behind while contemplating what the future of the heavyweight division might look like without him. For years, he has been a dominant force, showcasing remarkable skill, resilience, and charisma that have defined an era. His ability to rise to challenges and deliver unforgettable performances has earned him a place among the greats. Now, as discussions of retirement swirl, there is speculation about whether this decision comes at the right time or if there's still more to achieve. The transition from an active career to retirement is often challenging for fighters. Some believe stepping away now allows for a legacy untarnished by unnecessary risks, while others think the competitive drive that fuels champions might lead to a return. The idea of leaving behind the adrenaline of the ring and the roar of the crowd is a difficult one, even for the most accomplished athletes. Questions also arise about the void left in the division. His presence brought excitement and intrigue to every matchup, elevating the sport and inspiring a new generation. Without his larger-than-life personality and exceptional skills, there's uncertainty about who will step into the role of the dominant figure in heavyweight boxing. While retirement signals the end of one chapter, it also opens the door for new opportunities. Whether it's mentoring the next generation, focusing on personal growth, or exploring ventures outside the ring, this marks a significant turning point. As the boxing world reacts, the sentiment remains unanimous. His impact on the sport is undeniable, and his absence will be deeply felt. After his recent fight, Tyson Fury was asked by a reporter about his future plans in boxing. In typical Fury fashion, the heavyweight champion gave a straightforward response. He's heading home to rest. This simple yet telling remark has left fans and analysts speculating about what's next for the Gypsy King. Fury's statement reflects the toll that boxing at the highest level takes on an athlete. The rigorous training camps, mental preparation, and physical demands of stepping into the ring can be overwhelming, even for someone as accomplished as Fury. Taking time to recover and reflect is essential, especially after high-stakes bouts that demand peak performance. This reply also underscores Fury's unique approach to the sport. Unlike many fighters who immediately announce future plans, Fury often keeps his next moves close to his chest. His focus on rest and recovery suggests a desire to regroup before making any major decisions about his career. For a boxer with a legacy as rich as Fury's, choosing the right time and circumstances to return or retire is critical. Fans are left wondering whether this rest is a temporary pause before another big fight or the beginning of the end for Fury's time in the ring. With talks of potential rematches and other high-profile bouts swirling in the background, Fury's next steps will undoubtedly shape the heavyweight division's landscape. For now, the boxing world waits as Fury steps back from the spotlight to recharge. Whether he's plotting a return to the ring or considering retirement, one thing is clear. Tyson Fury's journey remains one of the most compelling narratives in the sport today. Only time will reveal what's next for the Gypsy King. Former world champion Carl Froch has weighed in on the speculations surrounding Tyson Fury's potential retirement. Froch suggested that Fury might decide to step away from boxing, but acknowledged the allure of one last blockbuster bout. A possible rubber match against Anthony Joshua, Froch noted, could generate significant attention and solidify Fury's legacy. Froch's remarks come in the aftermath of Fury's recent defeat to Alexander Usyk, a fight that many viewed as a pivotal moment in Fury's career. While Froch emphasized that the loss wasn't devastating, he recognized that it marks a second blemish on Fury's otherwise stellar record. For a fighter who has long touted his undefeated status as a symbol of his dominance, the defeat could weigh heavily on his decision to continue. Before the fight, Fury exuded his trademark confidence, taunting Usyk and declaring himself the true champion. Froch pointed out how the pre-fight buildup added to the intensity of the rivalry, making the loss an even tougher pill to swallow. However, Froch also suggested that the defeat might not deter Fury entirely, as the heavyweight champion has always thrived on big challenges and high-stakes fights. The prospect of a showdown with Anthony Joshua remains a tantalizing possibility. Froch highlighted how a Fury-Joshua fight could become a career-defining moment for both fighters, especially given the public demand and the history between them. While Fury's next steps remain uncertain, Froch believes that the allure of such a significant event might be too tempting for the Gypsy King to resist. As the boxing world awaits Fury's decision, Froch's insights reflect the complexity of a career at the crossroads, where legacy, pride, and opportunity all collide.
Not just colleagues, we're actually really good friends. But I agree with what he said there. He'd like to see Usyk walk away. He thinks Tyson Fury probably will walk away, but I can see the enticement. I can see the rubber match between him and AJ. But Tyson, I don't know how he's going to take that. That was another not devastating loss, but it's another loss. And on the build-up there, when he was giving Usyk some beef and saying, "I'm the champion, you're effing this and you're effing that and you rabbit," and he was getting wound up, you could see that.
Carl Froch offered a candid and layered analysis of Tyson Fury's possible retirement, addressing the emotional and professional challenges Fury faces following consecutive defeats to Alexander Usyk. Froch's remarks touch on the mental strain such losses can impose, particularly on a fighter as proud and accomplished as Fury. Froch highlighted Fury's demeanor in the lead-up to his rematch with Usyk, noting how visibly agitated he appeared. Fury's fiery confidence, marked by taunts and expletive-filled declarations of dominance, revealed not just his competitive spirit, but also the pressure he placed on himself to maintain his status as the heavyweight division's king. According to Froch, Usyk's back-to-back victories over Fury now cast a shadow over his legacy, raising the question of whether Fury can reconcile these defeats and step away from the sport with dignity. Despite Fury's wealth and familial support, Froch suggested that these external comforts might not be enough to soothe the sting of losing his place at the top of the boxing world. While £100 million provides financial security, Froch emphasized that true fulfillment comes from personal contentment, something he believes Fury must rediscover outside the ring. However, Froch also acknowledged a different side of Fury's personality, one that thrives on the competition and limelight of boxing. Referring to Fury's Netflix documentary, Froch observed how much the Gypsy King loves the fight game and the identity of being the champion. This deep connection to the sport makes retirement a complex decision for Fury, who might struggle to leave behind the spotlight and the thrill of competition. Ultimately, Froch's comments reveal both admiration for Fury's achievements and an understanding of the emotional crossroads he now faces. Whether Fury chooses to retire or take on new challenges, Froch hopes he can navigate this chapter of his life with grace and satisfaction.
He actually got a bit of hatred for Usyk there because he's ruined his legacy and he's ruined him at the end of his career. He's had back-to-back defeats now. Can he mentally cope with that and retire? I know he's got 100 million quid in the bank, which is going to soften the blow. But bottom line is, money shouldn't be your king. You should be contented with your family. He's got a lot of kids. You should be able to enjoy your life and move on. But just from what I've seen him in the Netflix documentary, he loves fighting and he loves being the champ. He loves being on top. So I sincerely hope Tyson Fury can cope with that loss, the back-to-back defeats, and walk away with his chin held high and smile, because he's had a great career and he's been a great champion. He's been an unbelievable character for the sport of boxing. I wouldn't blame him, actually, if he jumped in with AJ and took the rubber match, because it's a fight that will sell. It will fill Wembley. I don't know if we'll get 80,000 in there, but it will get a big crowd at Wembley Stadium, and that will be a sign-off payday.
In a recent TalkSport podcast, Simon Jordan and the hosts dove into the hot topic of Tyson Fury's future in boxing. As speculation swirls about whether the Gypsy King will retire or continue fighting, the panel debated his motivations, legacy, and what lies ahead for the heavyweight superstar. The conversation began with skepticism about Fury's potential retirement. One host expressed doubt, arguing that Fury's history and persona suggest he won't walk away from the sport just yet. If good money is at stake, he will come back, they posited, emphasizing Fury's knack for seizing lucrative opportunities. The idea that Fury thrives on challenges and the allure of the spotlight adds weight to the argument that he's far from finished with boxing. Shifting the focus to Alexander Usyk, Fury's most recent rival, the discussion took a reflective tone. Usyk's promoter Alex Krassyuk shared his immense pride in the Ukrainian fighter. Describing Usyk as a source of inspiration, Krassyuk highlighted the dignity and motivation Usyk brings to the sport. This admiration underscores Usyk's impact, not just as a competitor, but as a symbol of resilience and excellence. The hosts also debated Usyk's place in boxing history. Simon Jordan stated that while Usyk might not be the greatest fighter ever, he is unquestionably the greatest of his generation. Another host agreed, pointing to Usyk's achievements, becoming an undisputed cruiserweight champion, an undisputed heavyweight champion, and earning multiple victories over elite opponents like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. They acknowledged that Usyk's dominance leaves little else for him to prove, solidifying his legacy as one of the sport's most accomplished fighters. As the conversation circled back to Fury, the hosts emphasized how his next move could shape his legacy. While Usyk's achievements are celebrated, Fury's position remains uncertain. Will he return to reclaim his throne or step away with his legacy intact? The consensus on the podcast leaned toward Fury staying active, with lucrative fights and the hunger for competition likely drawing him back into the ring. The Talk Sport discussion underscored the pivotal moment in heavyweight boxing, with Usyk cementing his place as the best of this era and Fury standing at a crossroads. The future of the division remains as intriguing as ever.
Do you think we'll ever see Fury back after that, or do you think he'll sail off into the sunset?
If good money is at stake, he will come. I think he's not retiring, for sure.
How proud are you of Alexander?
Absolutely proud. There is no such word. I can't actually find the word in English to say what I really am. But let's choose very, very, very extremely proud.
He has such dignity, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Every time he speaks, every time he appears.
Yes. He's like a son. When I come to his aura, I feel motivation, I feel incentive to live, to be happy and things like that.
Simon Jordan discusses Tyson Fury's greatness as a fighter, acknowledging that he is indeed a remarkable athlete. However, Jordan also points out that there is an ongoing debate about whether Fury is past his prime, especially as he reaches the later stages of his career. He highlights the fact that Fury's performance today may not be the same as it was when he defeated Vladimir Klitschko in 2015, where he showcased exceptional footwork and movement that made him a formidable opponent. Jordan suggests that as fighters age, they inevitably adapt their styles, and while Fury may not be the same as he was in his earlier years, he remains a top-tier competitor. Despite acknowledging that Fury is not the same fighter he was in 2015, Jordan still holds the view that Fury is undoubtedly still the second-best heavyweight in the world. He credits Fury's recent performances, including his victory over a worthy opponent in a recent fight, as evidence of his continued excellence in the ring. The fight was a highly anticipated one, and Jordan emphasizes that it was a great spectacle for fans. However, Jordan does not shy away from discussing moments in the bout that raised questions, such as a potential low blow earlier in the fight, which led to a 4-minute stoppage. He points out that in street fights, such interruptions wouldn't be allowed, so the extended break seemed unusual, though it is permissible for boxers to have up to 5 minutes to recover from an accidental low blow. Further discussing the fight, Jordan expresses his thoughts about the stoppage, stating that he felt it may have been prolonged unnecessarily, which could have skewed the flow of the fight. While he agrees with the rules surrounding low blows, he questions whether they were strictly adhered to in this case and whether it impacted the fight's outcome. He also praises Alexander Usyk, noting that he's done an excellent job in his own career. But the conversation ultimately returns to Fury and his standing as a great fighter, despite any perceived decline. This dialogue highlights both Fury's enduring talent and the ongoing debates surrounding the evolution of his boxing style as he progresses through his career.
Is he slightly past his best now at this age of his career? And we haven't seen the Tyson Fury that we saw beat, let's say, Klitschko back in 2015. That is for sure, where he was light on his feet, a lot of movement, but as guys get older, they adapt and, they change their styles and whatever. Fury's a great fighter still undoubtedly number 2 in the world. I mean, it was a great fight there on Saturday night, that is for sure.
Dubois lost that first fight, Simon. Wasn't there a low blow earlier in that fight? And there was a really long stoppage
4 minutes.
for Usyk, which almost looked like, look, if you're fighting in the street, you don't get 4 minutes, do you, to tidy yourself up?
Tyson Fury's wife, Paris Fury, recently spoke about her husband's potential retirement, offering insights into his mindset and how he feels about his boxing career. She explained that Tyson is happiest when he is training for a fight or preparing for a big match. For Fury, the anticipation and discipline involved in training bring him a sense of purpose and fulfillment, and he thrives in that environment. According to Paris, Tyson enjoys the challenge of the sport, and it's when he's actively involved in boxing that he feels truly content. However, Paris also acknowledged that retirement is inevitable for every athlete, and one day, Tyson will have to step away from the ring. She emphasized that while Tyson is happiest when he's training and fighting, there will come a time when he needs to retire for his own well-being. Despite this, she is fully supportive of whatever decision he makes, understanding that Tyson may need new challenges to stay motivated, whether within the world of boxing or beyond. She recognizes that retirement might seem like a natural progression, but it's clear that Tyson's love for the sport and his desire for challenges will play a significant role in when that moment comes. Paris expressed that she would be there to support Tyson no matter what direction he chooses, standing by his side as he navigates the transition from active competition to the next phase of his life. She appreciates his determination and understands that retirement doesn't have to mean the end of his passion, just a new chapter in his journey. Following his second consecutive defeat to Alexander Usyk on December 21, 2024, experts are questioning the future of Tyson Fury's boxing career. The unanimous decision loss, with all three judges scoring the bout 116-112 in favor of Usyk, has led to speculation about Fury's next steps. Some analysts suggest that if Fury were to lose to Usyk a second time, it would be challenging for him to find meaningful opponents. They argue that without a clear path to reclaiming the heavyweight title, Fury might consider retirement. However, others believe that a high-profile domestic bout with Anthony Joshua could be a fitting conclusion to his career. This potential matchup has garnered significant attention, with both fighters having previously lost to Usyk, making a fight between them highly anticipated. Despite the defeat, Fury remains a prominent figure in the boxing world. His promoter, Frank Warren, has indicated that Fury's future decisions will depend on his own wishes. Fury himself has expressed his belief that he won the rematch against Usyk, citing his aggressive performance and landing hits to the body and head. He acknowledged the difficulty of guaranteeing a win without a knockout, but remained defiant in his conviction of outlasting Usyk in both matches. As of now, Tyson Fury's next steps in the boxing world remain uncertain. The possibility of a fight with Anthony Joshua continues to be discussed, but no official plans have been announced. Fury's future in the sport will likely depend on his personal decisions and the opportunities that arise in the coming months.
Facts of cap. If Tyson Fury loses to Usyk, he's gonna retire.
Yeah, it's time for Fury to pack it up if he loses. He really, in my opinion, already lost to Ngannou. They gave him that. Then he looked bad against Usyk in the first fight. So if you lose again, what else is there to do? He's already about to be 37, I believe. So at that point, who else do you fight?
Nah, that's cap. I don't think my boy would take a L and just retire. The greatest fighters in boxing history outside of Floyd all got a L. It's no big deal. There's other fights that he can make, like we still want to see him fight AJ. And if he did lose, get a couple wins, I'm interested in the trilogy. The first fight was closer than you think.
Eddie Hearn, a prominent boxing promoter, recently shared his thoughts on Tyson Fury's future in the sport, following the possibility of a second loss to Alexander Usyk. Hearn emphasized that a defeat against Usyk should not signal the end of Fury's illustrious career. He believes that even if Fury loses, it doesn't necessarily mean he should retire immediately. Hearn suggests that Fury, at his peak, remains one of the top boxers in the heavyweight division, and a loss to Usyk would not diminish his achievements or standing in the sport. He stresses that Fury should continue his career and not make rash decisions about retiring just because of one defeat. According to Hearn, boxing is a sport where fighters often encounter setbacks, and a loss shouldn't be seen as the definitive end. Instead, it should serve as a motivator for the next challenge. One such challenge could be a highly anticipated fight with Anthony Joshua. Hearn believes that a Fury-Joshua match could be a significant draw for boxing fans worldwide, and it could give Fury a chance to show he still has plenty of fight left in him. Despite the setback against Usyk, Hearn is adamant that Fury has the potential to maintain his relevance in the heavyweight division. What Hearn is emphasizing is the importance of not letting one loss dictate the trajectory of a fighter's career. He understands that boxing is a tough sport and losses are inevitable, but they should be seen as learning experiences rather than career-ending moments. Hearn also points out that fighters need to monitor their physical and mental state as they age. He acknowledges that if a fighter starts to show signs of significant regression, whether in their performance or in their ability to maintain their fitness and skill level, then it's time to seriously consider retirement. However, Hearn makes it clear that Fury is far from that point. Ultimately, Hearn's message is one of resilience. He believes that Fury can continue to challenge himself, stay relevant, and potentially secure big matches, such as the one with Joshua, well beyond a loss to Usyk. As long as Fury remains motivated and doesn't show signs of physical or mental decline, he should keep fighting, working towards his future in the sport.
But, when you lose to Usyk, it shouldn't really mean that you need to hang him up.
No.
He's,
It's like
he's
the
pound for pound
UFC
number
model,
one.
isn't it? Like when big fighters lose all the time.
Once you start
Frank Warren, Tyson Fury's promoter, recently spoke about the aftermath of Tyson's second loss to Alexander Usyk. He shared that Tyson will be heading home for Christmas to rest and reflect on his future. Warren emphasized that after such a tough defeat, Tyson is taking some time to clear his mind before making any major decisions about his career. He mentioned that Fury is deeply disappointed by the outcome of the fight and the way things unfolded, which has left him uncertain about what to do next. When asked about the possibility of a fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, Warren was candid, stating that he didn't know if such a matchup would happen anytime soon. The disappointment from the Usyk-Fury rematch is palpable, and both Tyson and Warren are still processing the results. Warren acknowledged that Tyson, who has always been driven by challenges, is struggling with the loss, but he made it clear that Fury's next steps will ultimately be up to him. While the future remains uncertain, Warren believes that after some time to rest and recharge, Tyson will be able to make a clear decision about whether he wants to continue his career or move on to other pursuits.
They weren't confident, I'll tell you that. They weren't confident. They were sitting one sitting.
Have you spoken to Frank? Have you spoken to Tyson, Frank?
Yeah, we just done a press conference. Spoke with him, and he thought he won it as well.
What next for him?
He's going home for Christmas, and he will choose what he wants to do, contemplate what he wants to do in the future. It's going to be his choice.
Possible Joshua fight next year too?
I've got no idea. It's going to be up to him. It's too soon to be deciding anything. He's very, very disappointed. He's philosophical, but he's disappointed.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.